membaca.
Dunia sempit menjadi luas, tempat kejayaan tiada terbatas. Negara yang kecil, tinggi martabat, kerana ilmu negara berdaulat. Mari kawan, kita membaca. Mari silakan timba ilmu dengan membaca. Inilah perjuangan, sambutlah seruan.
Jadikan
Membaca gaya wawasan. Everybody take a book and read to gain knowledge. Everyone has to read. Let's reach out, open up your mind.
let's make reading
A lifestyle of wawasan. Mari kawan, kita membaca. Mari silakan timba ilmu dengan membaca. Inilah perjuangan, sambutlah seruan.
jadikan
Membaca gaya wawasan. Everybody take a book and read to gain knowledge. Everyone has to read. Let's reach out, open up your mind.
let's make reading
A lifestyle of wawasan. Mari kawan, kita membaca. Mari silakan timba ilmu dengan membaca. Inilah perjuangan, sambutlah seruan.
jadikan
Membaca gaya wawasan.
Kok pandai-pandai, halang buku-buku. Bacalah sampai pandai, buku-buku berbagai ilmu. Santang lemak manis, santang pelaku muda. Jangan anak menangis, kalau anak suruh membaca.
Lifestyle of wawasan. Mari kawan, kita membaca. Mari silakan timba ilmu dengan membaca. Inilah perjuangan, sambutlah seruan.
jadikan
Membaca gaya wawasan. Everybody take a book and read to gain knowledge. Everyone has to read. Let's reach out, open up your mind.
let's make reading
A lifestyle of wawasan.
Alright, we're gonna start. Okay, kita mula.
Boleh.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Hai semua, apa khabar? Sehat?
Alhamdulillah sihat. Pak sihat?
Sehat Alhamdulillah. Cuma kurang sikit lah.
Tapi yelah, macam cakap tadi, first time nampak pakai kacamata. Air sikit hari ni.
Okey, saya harap semua sihatlah. Semua peserta yang join, terima kasih juga saya ucapkan kepada peserta yang sudi meluangkan masa pada pagi ini. And then baiklah, selamat datang saya ucapkan ke program Bicara Pandai, komunikasi berkesan dalam pengucapan awam. Baik, untuk pengetahuan semua, program Bicara Pandai ini merupakan program yang julung-julung kalinya diadakan. Okey, untuk pengetahuan semua, untuk makluman juga bagi yang pertama kali mendengar perkataan pandai, saya tahu apa itu pandai?
Tertanya-tanya juga pandai tu berpandai ke?
Dia macam itulah. Pandai ni kalau bahasa Sarawak, pandai. Okey, pandai ni merupakan short form untuk People Accessible Network for Digital Empowerment and Inclusivity. Okey.
Alright.
Ya, itu short form untuk pandai. And then pandai ni merupakan satu program inklusiviti digital rakyat Sarawak yang bertemakan pelestarian komuniti digital. And then program pandai ni diadakan bertujuan untuk memastikan setiap rakyat dilengkapi dengan kemahiran literasi digital di samping mendidik serta meningkatkan kesedaran terhadap kepentingan ilmu pengetahuan dan maklumat. Di mana program pandai ni dia di bawah Digital Inclusivity Strategic Action nombor 47 di bawah Sarawak Digital Economy Strategy 2018 until 2022. And then program pandai ni dia merangkumi 5 modul pembelajaran utama. Okey, modul yang pertama adalah pengurusan maklumat dan komunikasi. Modul yang kedua menggunakan inisiatif digital kerajaan. And then modul yang ketiga berurusan secara digital. Modul yang keempat keselamatan dalam talian dan modul yang kelima adalah pustaka in a box. Kiranya hari ini kita di bawah modul yang pertama iaitu pengurusan maklumat dan komunikasi. Jadinya tajuk kita pada hari ini adalah komunikasi berkesan dalam pengucapan awam. Baiklah, saya tak nak membuang masa lah kan. Peserta pun tertunggu-tunggu. Kita ada 40 peserta kalau saya dapat lihat kat sini. Kita ada 41 peserta. Terima kasih kepada peserta yang join dan memeriahkan lagi kita punya program hari ini. Baiklah, sebelum saya menjemput penceramah kita hari ini, Mr. Azril Izuan, saya bacakan sedikit biodata berkenaan dengan beliau lah. Baiklah, nama diberi Muhammad Azril Izuan Ramlan. Beliau merupakan pensyarah Fakulti Komunikasi dan Pengajian Media UiTM Cawangan Negeri 9 Kampus Rembau. Baiklah, untuk education, Diploma in Communication and Media UiTM Cawangan Melaka, merupakan pelajar cemerlang lah, penerima anugerah Naib Chancellor. Wow. And then seterusnya, Bachelor of Mass Communications, Honorable Public Relation, UiTM Shah Alam. Beliau mengekalkanlah dia punya status dauman diploma sampai ke degree first class dan juga penerima anugerah Naib Chancellor. Wow. And then seterusnya, Master International Public Relations and Global Communication Management, Cardiff University, United Kingdom distinction. Wow. Wow.
Lebih
And then okay, untuk awards and recognition, beliau menerima anugerah Seri Paduka Baginda Tuanku Chancellor pada Istiadat Convocation UiTM kali ke-81 pada tahun 2015. Beliau juga menerima anugerah pelajar terbaik fakulti dan juga anugerah pelajar terbaik program. Okay, dari segi volunteering works, beliau merupakan pengerusi unit media dan komunikasi korporat Yayasan Era Suria YES, and then ahli panel pemikir Yayasan Era Suria dan sukarelawan Yayasan AFS Antara Budaya Malaysia. Baiklah, tanpa melengahkan masa, saya menjemput, saya panggil Sir lah kan? Biasa panggil Sir. Okay, saya jemputlah Sir Azril untuk meneruskan kita punya program hari ini. Dipersilakan.
Okey, terima kasih Pak An daripada Sarawak. Long way from here.
Ya, long way.
Okey, pertama sekali Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi semua. Selamat datang kepada yang ada yang sudi meluangkan masa pada pagi ini. Highly appreciated. Tapi sebelum saya pergi mana-mana, saya share screen dulu ya. Sekejap ya.
Sure.
Okay, boleh nampak ke Pak? Okay, cool.
Nampak.
Alright, so apa yang kita akan buat pada pagi ni, pertama sekali macam saya cakap tadi, terima kasih kepada pihak Pustaka Sarawak kerana sudi menjemput saya. Maklumlah saya ni sebesar kuman je orangnya. Okay, alright, Pak An ni, just for the record, Pak An ni saya kenal waktu dekat UiTM Rembau lah. Dia ni seorang yang very berkaliber sebenarnya. Dia satu je dengan Pak An ni, jangan bagi dia pegang mikrofon, nanti dia tak nak lepas. Kan Pak An kan? Okay, berbalik pada topik kita pada pagi ini, kita akan sentuh semacam saya diberi amanat oleh pihak Pustaka Sarawak untuk bercakap mengenai komunikasi berkesan dalam pengucapan awam ataupun dalam Englishnya effective communications in public speaking. Okay, macam Farhan dah sebut tadi, nama saya Muhammad Izuan bin Ramlan, saya pensyarah di Fakulti Komunikasi dan Pengajian Media, UiTM Cawangan Negeri 9, Kampus Rembau. Fakulti Komunikasi dan Pengajian Media ni ataupun biasa kita panggil MESCOM lah. Siapa yang macam fakulti mana ni? Fakulti mana? MESCOM. MESCOM. Yang selalu produce macam orang kata yang glamour tu, MESCOM lah tu orangnya. Okay. Alright. So apa yang kita akan buat pada pagi ni, kita akan cuba touch, saya akan cuba touch beberapa points sebab kita hanya ada masa dalam, saya diberikan masa dalam sejam. So saya akan cuba sentuh poin-poin utama sajalah. Jadi saya mengharapkan sekiranya soalan, boleh tanya soalan. Kalau misal kata moderator boleh nampak ada soalan daripada chat box ke, daripada mana-mana ke, you guys feel free to ask me any question. Just for the record, the slide will be slightly in English and then some I will try to do my best to do explanations in BM as well lah, because I believe semua orang perlu faham ke benda ni. Alright. Okay. Tanpa melengahkan masa, okay, saya sebenarnya bila saya nak buat any talk kan, saya suka bagi apa macam kandungan, guideline ataupun outline apa yang kita akan buat pada pagi ini. Okay, untuk topik pada pagi ini kita akan cuba sentuh pertama sekali asas komunikasi, which is basic communication model. Kenapa penting untuk faham model ni? Sebab model communication ni adalah something yang kita buat hari-hari. Kalau kita tahu komunikasi itu apa kan, tapi kita tak berapa nak faham macam mana proses komunikasi itu berlaku, dekat mana biasanya communication breakdown berlaku. That's why kita kena tahu benda ni. Sebab dalam pengucapan awam, breakdown mesti akan berlaku somewhere. Tapi macam mana kita nak tangani breakdown ni bergantung kepada kita lah, bergantung kepada speaker tu sendiri. Okay. Yang kedua, kita akan bercakap mengenai komunikasi efektif ataupun komunikasi berkesan, effective communications. Kemudian kita akan pergi kepada pengucapan awam, cabaran dan kesilapan, common challenges and errors, and last but not least, tips and tricks lah. Basically tips and teknik. Okay. So saya harap dalam 5 subtopik yang sangat ringkas saya bagi pada saya cuba sampaikan pada pagi ini dapatlah sedikit sebanyak memberi intipati kepada semua penonton. Okay. Saya suka satu quotation ni. Okay, quotation ni, communication, the human connection is the key to personal and career success. Communication ni atau komunikasi kan, benda yang kita buat hari-hari. The moment kita bangun tidur, Pak An bangun tidur, Pak An buat apa Pak An?
Breakfast?
Tak check WhatsApp?
Breakfast.
Breakfast dulu. Phone biar. Okay. Alright. Pak An ni 1 dan 1000 lah saya rasa. Biasanya kalau saya first thing saya bangun tidur kan, handphone dulu. Tengok dulu kan. Okay. So communication ni, ikutkan communication ni dia dah evolve tau daripada masa ke masa. Kalau dulu kita tak ada handphone, kita tak ada internet apa semua tu. So basically communication hanya berlaku antara manusia sesama manusia face to face. But now because of digitalizations, kita dah menggunakan teknik EMC ataupun electronic mediated communications. So bila you bangun pagi, you buka tengok phone, tengok WhatsApp kerja ke WhatsApp apa. Banyak WhatsApp ni. Okay. Semua tu adalah part of communication. And communication is actually very important in terms of career and also personal success. Why is it important? Because untuk you mencapai sesuatu, you kena berkomunikasi dengan seseorang, dengan orang lain. You kena faham ada satu terms ataupun idioms in English yang saya sangat suka juga, no man is an island. Tak ada orang yang boleh hidup bersendirian. Because kalau you duduk bersendirian, mungkinlah you tidak dapat mengembangkan you punya personal success and of course your career success will not be there as well. Okay? Okay, ini model asas komunikasi. Kalau you pelajar MESCOM ke, pelajar sains sosial ke, you mesti pernah tengok benda ni kan. Dia macam pagi ni macam bagi lecture sikit kan. Okay, tapi tak apa. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini, ini adalah model asas komunikasi ataupun basic communication model. Dekat sini kita ada sender. Kalau you guys boleh tengok dekat sini, sender. And then kita ada proses encoding, messages and so channel, and also process of decoding and receiver. Okay. kalau ikutkan kan, dekat mana public speaker, orang yang memberi ucapan ataupun orang yang membuat pengucapan awam tu berada di mana? Dia berada di sender. Okay. So bila you berada di sender, maksudnya you adalah sumber utama maklumat. Bila you sumber utama maklumat ataupun sumber utama message, you kena faham yang pertama sekali ialah bagaimana untuk encode. Encode ni maksudnya process of putting whatever you have in your mind into words, into text, into anything. Okay. So macam mana nak sampaikan benda tu? So benda tu bila dah encode benda tu, dan you type ke, you cakap ke, itu adalah message. Message And message ni pula dia boleh disampaikan melalui beberapa channel lah. Dia bukan channels kat sebenarnya kan. Kita ada handphone, kita ada face to face, and then kita pun ada email. In fact, apa yang kita tengah buat Zoom sekarang ni pun, it is actually part of the channel, electronic mediated communication lah, EMC. And also lepas tu kita ada process of decoding. Decoding maksudnya apa yang saya cuba sampaikan sekarang, apabila penonton mendengar, itu adalah proses decoding sedang berlaku. Dan sekiranya penonton faham, maksudnya manage to receive lah. This is where I am and this is where everyone else is. Okay? And benda yang paling penting yang kita kena tahu throughout the process of communications is that throughout all processes, dia ada noise. Noise ni apa? Noise ni dia lebih kurang kepada gangguan lah. Bunyi kan, gangguan. Gangguan ni boleh berlaku pada pihak sender ataupun semasa channel sedang berlaku ataupun receiver themselves lah. Okay, kalau sender ni dia mungkin boleh jadi in terms of noise, mungkin tiba-tiba waktu I tengah bercakap ni tiba-tiba mak I panggil Azril. Tak boleh beritahu mak I panggil apa kat rumah kan, tapi Azril lah kan. Okay, so noise ni bukan saja pada situ, tetapi waktu message itu disampaikan mungkin melalui channel. Masa saya tengah bercakap bunyi kipas, bunyi aircon, bunyi tiba-tiba bunyi horn, ting. Same thing goes to all of you guys. When you guys are like delivering your public speaking ni boleh berlaku pada bila-bila masa yang dia bukannya hanya bila orang jemput you berucap. Dia boleh juga jadi semasa you di interview, semasa you perlu membentangkan kertas kerja kepada you punya boss, semasa you dapat award kan, tiba-tiba bagi ucapan. So benda tu juga boleh berlaku. Noises throughout the channels boleh berlaku, tiba-tiba you tengah bercakap ni semua orang bising. Everyone is making a lot of noises. Itu pun boleh kita panggil noise. And receiver mungkin tak fokus. Receiver patah hati, baru putus cinta, awet cakap let's end this relationship kan. So itu pun boleh jadi part of the noises. Okay. And the two ways communication dekat sini akan berlaku apabila berlakunya feedback. Feedback is actually a very valuable lesson ataupun a very valuable part in communication in which you boleh tahu sama ada you punya communication tu adalah efektif ataupun tidak. This is the effectiveness part. Okay, so basically model asas komunikasi ni, this is a very basic one sebab dia punya noises ni kita tak pecahkan, dia punya messages pun kita tak pecahkan. Okay, tapi ni secara asasnya, kenapa penting saya minta semua orang faham, sebab model asas ni lah merupakan macam foundation to all communications. Okay, as long as you understand that all this is very good already. Okay, and noises ni pula pun boleh berlaku sekiranya apa yang sender cuba cakapkan mungkin dia terlampau intellectual. Mungkin kalau you tengah bercakap dengan masyarakat kampung, you tidak boleh menggunakan bahasa Inggeris mungkin, ya, ataupun you tidak boleh menggunakan jargon. So you know setiap profession kita ada jargon sendiri kan. So you kena tone down ataupun you have to find a way macam mana you nak sampaikan supaya semua orang faham. Sebab tu nanti dekat dalam tips and tricks itu ada one part about audience. Okay, saya assume basic model communication ni, this is a very basic one lah. Okay, saya rasa semua sangat senang untuk difahami. Okay. You know, saya pernah jumpa dengan seorang presiden, Alan Hilbert. He is from New York basically. Met him. He asked me, what is the first thing in communication? Of course I said talking and speaking. And then when he said this, actually you're wrong. The key to communication is not talking, it's listening. Okay, sama juga dengan kita semua. Asas komunikasi sebenarnya adalah datang daripada pendengaran. To listen well is as powerful means of communication and influence to talk well as to talk well. So basically, mendengar dan juga bercakap ni satu benda yang sama penting. You tidak boleh abaikan part mendengar semata-mata sebab you nak bercakap. Okay, mendengar ni dia sangat penting. Sebab apa? Bila you mendengar, bila mendengar feedback dari audience you kan. Contoh misal kata you berada di hadapan untuk memberi ucapan ke apa ke. So kalaulah you mendengar some feedbacks ni dia tidak semestinya direct to you. Sometimes orang tengah bercakap sesama mereka kan, dia ni cakap slow sangat kan, contoh macam tu kan. So basically bila you dengar cakap slow sangat, that is when and where you adjust your tone. Okay, sebab to listen meaning to say you are paying attention to what people want. Okay, so therefore tidak semestinya dalam tidak semestinya dekat dalam public speaking lah. In any communication, listening is the key. In fact, kalau Pak An nak contoh, dia ada awet kan, listening to your girlfriend, Pak An, is the key of the relationship. To make sure the ship sails smoothly, you have to listen lah. Okay, alright. And then tadi kita akan tengok komunikasi berkesan. Apalah ni komunikasi berkesan? Macam mana nak make sure berkesan ni? How are we going to make sure that komunikasi ni berkesan? Okay, kalau kita tengok kan, as per definition, effective communication is defined as the ability to convey information to another effectively and efficiently. Effectively ni apa ya? Effective ni maksudnya berkesan lah. Macam mana nak make sure benda tu berkesan? Macam mana nak tahu benda tu berkesan ataupun tidak? So, dia ada cara. Okay, the first one is, it occurs when the message is sent and received accurately. To make sure whether or whether not what you're saying, whatever you're communicating is well received or effectively received, it depends on the receiver. Kalau the receiver give you a feedback that you think suits the message that you send, so basically the communication as a whole, it is effective. Misal kata lain lah kalau you tanya benda, misal kata you tanya dah makan ke belum, dia kata oh baru keluar tadi. So basically that communication is not effective. Probably because you speak too fast, probably you are the receiver is not in a proper mood ke apa ke kan. So tapi macam cakap, effective communication dia tidaklah hanya bergantung kepada sender, dia bergantung kepada keseluruhan proses of dekat model tadi kan. Dia mungkin berada kepada receiver punya problem, mungkin noise too loud. So effective communication is when the message is sent and received accurately, dengan tepat. Ketepatan ni dia tidak, you can understand that when there is noises, ketepatan mungkin tidaklah 100%, dia mungkin akan jadi 90%, 98%. Because kita punya attention span, human punya attention span, we have a very little attention span. Unless lah you tengah bercakap dengan your mom ke apa, you have to really pay attention kan. Tapi to be honest, human punya attention span, we have a very short period of time untuk attention span lah. Okay. Tapi macam mana nak make sure that effective communication ni happens? How to ensure that effective communication ni boleh berlaku? Okay, yang pertama of course listening. Macam saya cakap tadi, listening ni adalah kunci kepada communication. Bukan bercakap ya, listening. Mendengar. Apabila kita mendengar, basically kita dapat benda tu dengan tepat. Misalnya someone is talking to you, ada orang cakap dengan you and you mendengar dan you bercakap, orang tu bercakap dan you mendengar. So basically kalau you mendengar dengan baik, so basically communication tu akan menjadi efektif. Bila you mendengar dengan baik, you dapat reply dengan baik, you dapat memberi maklum balas dengan baik. Okay, itu yang pertama. Yang kedua ialah straight talking. Straight talking macam mana? Straight talking ni bukanlah you berdiri tegak ke apa ya. Straight talking ni dia lebih kepada simplify your words lah. You jangan belok kiri, belok kanan. You nak pergi A to B je ni, tapi you pusing sampai Z. Okay, ini bukan problem lah. I would say ini cabaran dengan masyarakat Melayu kan. Masyarakat Melayu ni masyarakat kita lah, masyarakat Malaysia sebenarnya as a whole. Kita ni suka berkias-kias, suka bagi macam pusing sini, pusing sana, berbunga-bunga ayat kan. So basically benda-benda yang berbunga-bunga ni, when you berkias-kias, benda inilah menyebabkan communication breakdown. Because sometimes apa yang you kiaskan tu orang tak faham. Lebih baik you cakap je, I nak sikit nasi you boleh, I nak sikit kek you boleh, daripada macam sedap je kek you tu, beli kat mana you tanya sampailah you nak tunggu kawan tu offer kan, kena ke ambil lah sikit. Kita kan memang macam tu kan, tak naklah tanya direct. Tapi itu antara punca-punca macam mana communication boleh jadi ineffective, tidak berkesan, ataupun communication breakdown can happen sekiranya benda-benda macam tu berlaku. Okay, yang kedua non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication ni is actually your body language lah. Okay, non-verbal ni termasuklah eye contact, to make sure that you are really paying attention, to make sure that communication itu efektif atau berkesan, you kena pay attention. Macam mana tunjuk you pay attention? Macam mana kalau dalam kelas, macam mana nak acah-acah fokus dalam kelas? You buat apa?
Baca nota.
Buat apa?
Entahlah.
Kan kalau I perasan kalau student dia acah fokus kan, dia pandang je lecturer tu. Dia mungkin tak fokus tau. Itu antara macam mana kita menunjukkan that communication, dia cuba menunjukkan yang dia tengah pay attention. Tapi actually non-verbal communication is something that we can tell whether it is being fake or what. If you tengah berpura-pura ataupun tidak. Saya lah cakap sebenarnya kalau lah you berada di dalam kelas, if you're even in a lecture ke apa kan, trust me, the speaker actually knows whether not you are paying attention or not. Tapi kalau dia ada tip sikit kalau nak make sure orang mendengar kat you if like I said tadi, Alan Hilbert cakap, to test whether someone is listening to you or not, you ask them questions. Okay, you ask them question. That's why I tanya Pak Ain, nak tengok dia dengar ke tak dengar. Okay, alright. And then number 4 is stress management. Kita tak boleh nafikan stress ni something yang kita tak boleh avoid. Okay, stress, it's everywhere. The moment you wake up in the morning, you stress. You bangun, you tengah buat kerja, you stress. You makan, you stress. Tapi managing stress is the way forward. Okay, especially sekarang ni dekat tengah MCO semua kan. Of course, I believe ramai yang stress. Dia beza stress dengan depression I'm talking about stress. Stress is a very minimal point lah. Maksudnya tekanan tu ada tekanan baik, ada tekanan yang tidak berapa nak baik. Tekanan yang baik bisa kata you suka buat kerja last minute, then you feeling stressful but you manage to fulfill the work within the time given. In which I rasa stress begitu adalah baik. Sebab certain people, they would perform well under stress. But certain people, they cannot manage their stress. When stress is not managed, so basically it could lead to anxiety and also depression. Okay, that's why when you have stress, make sure that you do not over-stress yourself. Ini I suka ingatkan dekat I punya students, do not stress over petty things. Petty things ni maksudnya benda-benda kecil, janganlah stress sangat. Okay? Alright, and then because kenapa kalau kita stress kan, imagine if you're stressful, dia akan affect in terms of listening, dia akan affect kita punya straight talking and also will affect our non-verbal communication. Sebab orang yang stress ni, it shows, dia tak fokus. Some people dia akan jadi very jiggy tau, dia macam bergerak jiggy kan. Yeah, and then emotional control ni it takes practice actually, and it takes a lot of years. I wouldn't say this is me lah, emotional control. To be honest, to control my emotion, it is something that it takes me quite some time to learn, because controlling emotion is something yang kita susah nak buat sebab kita manusia kan, we are human, we are born with innate emotions. Kita ada emotions yang kita sedih, kita happy, kita gembira is happy lah kan, kita kecewa. When you have all this kan, dia boleh affect kita the effectiveness of communication. You akan lebih mendengar apabila you happy mungkin, ataupun you mungkin lebih mendengar apabila you sedih. Bergantung kepada message yang cuba disampaikan. Kalau contohlah waktu you sedih, tengah heartbroken ni kan, you mungkin akan lebih suka untuk mendengar benda-benda yang mungkin nasihat berkenaan your relationships contoh, ataupun nasihat berkenaan you punya pembelajaran. Contoh you menangis sebab belajar kan, okay, you stressed belajar semua and then you cried. And then probably to make sure that the communication is effective, probably the message yang cuba di-convey ataupun message yang being sent, it has to meet the current emotion. Kalau contoh waktu tu you tengah sedih pasal you punya relationships, your ship is sinking contoh kan, and then ada pula orang datang tanya, tadi assignment Azril cakap apa tadi you rasa you boleh jawab ke? Of course you cannot. Okay, because the current emotion that you have, and also the communication ataupun the message that is being conveyed to you, it does not jive. So basically that's why emotion control, it is very very important. Kita pernah selalu dengar AI, IQ. Sekarang kita pernah dengar tak pasal EI. EI is actually emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. So basically emotional intelligence is when and where you could tell the emotion of someone else. And under EI juga, it shows that whether or not you can control your own emotions. That's why to make sure the effectiveness of a communication throughout the process of communications, you need to be able to control your emotion. Not just your emotions. Of course, when you want to convey something, you have to sound convincing lah. Emotion is something that plays a very crucial role. Contoh kalau you tengah sedih kan, tiba-tiba you pergi pertandingan bercerita. You bercerita pasal happy ni, tapi you are very sad. You will not be able to convey the information effectively. Okay, ini proses komunikasi berkesan. Tapi kalau kita tengok komunikasi berkesan ni, dia boleh berlaku breakdown lah. Breakdown is something that we cannot avoid. Okay, breakdown dia boleh berlaku pada bila-bila masa, pada mana-mana part of the process. Okay, Tapi kalau kita tengok communication break, biasanya ramai lah yang I notice kan students lah, and also when I was working last time lah. Okay, many graduates, many young executive, they are afraid of public speaking. Takut nak berucap di hadapan orang ramai. Sedangkan dalam Zoom pun, dalam Google Meet kan, contoh saya buat presentation dalam Google Meet pun, ada student yang nervous. Can you imagine if you face the crowd face to face? Okay, tapi you have to understand that kalau kita pergi universiti kan, selalu hujung semester kena present. Kenapalah lecture present? Sebab itu adalah cara macam mana you boleh develop your self confidence. Because when you go and work out there later on, benda ni akan berlaku all the time. Mungkinlah bukan hadapan crowd yang ramai, mungkin dalam department you sahaja ataupun dalam team unit you sahaja. Tapi still it requires you to be able to speak in front of the public. Okay, so kalau kita tengok definition of public speaking kat sini, it's a process of speaking to a group. Of people in a structured, deliberate manner intended to inform, influence or entertain the listeners. So basically bila kita buat public speaking, when kita berucap di hadapan orang ramai ni, kita ada intention. Tujuan kita apa? Adakah kita nak memberitahu? Adakah kita nak influence? Ataupun kita just nak menghiburkan diorang? Okay, macam like what I'm doing today, the intention is actually to inform. But when you go, contoh kan, when you go for a job interview, when they ask you questions, bila diorang tanya you soalan. So apa yang berlaku proses itu adalah you are trying to influence them, you're trying to convince them to hire you, that you are suitable for the position. So that's why bila kita sebut pasal public speaking ni, dia tidaklah terhad kepada pengucapan di hadapan orang ramai. Tapi bila you berhadapan dengan orang lain, when it is face to face, EMC, electronic mediated communication like this, public speaking, you can add intention. What is the main purpose of the speech, the communication that you're trying to convey? Okay, and it is closely allied to presenting. Macam like I said tadi, presentation benda tu highly allied. Maksudnya dia memang sangat-sangat dekat dengan buat presentation. Sebab apa? Bila you buat presentation, you are actually in front and speaking to a crowd. Yeah. And actually public, waktu you guys belajar, waktu you belajar dekat universiti ke, dekat college ke, mana-mana kan, bila you ada peluang untuk berucap di hadapan, that is the time where you can practice your skills. Because kalau you tak practice, it is almost impossible for you to just go out there and speak. You know, practice makes perfect. Something yang kita tak boleh deny, practice makes perfect. No one yang lahir-lahir tu boleh cakap ke depan ramai, tak ada. They have to try and try and try. Trial and error is part of process, part and parcel of life. Okay? And then public speaking is commonly understood as a kind of face-to-face speaking. Sekarang ni dulu face-to-face lah. Now because of the COVID, we have shifted to digitalization, which is like what PANDei is doing, which is very good. I really support the idea of PANDei. You know, and also face-to-face sekarang kita menggunakan EMC, macam I cakap tadi lah, electronic mediated communication. So basically, what we're doing right now, it is being mediated by digital platform lah. Okay, speaking between individuals and audience for the purpose of communication. Okay, and then occasion, bila public speaking boleh berlaku, bila pengucapan awam ni boleh berlaku, dia boleh berlaku sewaktu interview. Interview kerja ni, dia benda yang crucial. Ramai orang yang agak nervous bila interview. Tapi you have to understand that bila you interview, you have to look confident. Percayalah cakap I, orang yang the best public speaker pun tetap akan rasa nervous. And nervousness is fine. It's completely fine to feel nervous. Kenapa? Sebab you're human. But the way how you manage your nervousness is the key. Macam mana nak control you punya nervousness tu, itu adalah kunci kepada you punya public speaking ataupun the performance of the success of your interview ke apa ke. And then boleh berlaku juga pada pitching. Kalau you guys bekerja untuk any agency, PR agency ke, advertising agency ke. In fact, kalau you nak ambil tender kan, ataupun you tengah bentang you punya business proposal dekat bank apa kan, that one is pitching. When you do pitching, this is where you are required to do public speaking. And pitching is very important because in pitching you have to look confident. Dia bukan just confident towards yourself, you have to be confident in your product. Okay, kalau you cakap produk lah. If you're talking about your services lah. Okay, and then awards. Contoh you dapat award kan, you dapat award, you kena berucap depan ramai. Ini I still remember when I received the Royal Chancellor's Award, yang anugerah pada kebahagiaan Tuanku Chancellor tu, I kena berucap. berucap di hadapan agung dan juga permaisuri agung. Waktu tu dia punya nervousness tu. Okay. But the way, like I said, the way how you control your nervousness tu. So you tahu tak, orang yang nervous ni, kalau dia bercakap tu suara tu, I can tell that you're actually nervous. Unless suara you memang macam tu lah. Tapi ini bercakap lain, tiba-tiba you presentation lain atau speaking in front of public lain, then basically you're nervous lah, definitely. And then emceeing ini benda yang Pak An suka buat, emceeing. Okay, dia MC pertama dekat Jam Rembau yang waktu Naib Chancellor datang, PC datang Rembau, dia lah orang pertama yang menjadi MC. Dia ni dia fakulti lain tau Pak An ni. Cumanya when I heard about him, we tested him lah, panggil dia datang ke Dewan, and he tried, and I was impressed that he can, you know, he has the voice, he has the confidence, and of course, so kudos tu Pak An lah. Di antara, lepas tu dia di MPP lagi lah, jangan bagi mikrofon dekat dia. Okay. Alright, so ini public speaking, just a general introduction about what is public speaking and also effective communication tadi lah. Okay, this is about challenges. Like I said, in life, you will face a lot of challenges. Tak kisahlah dekat dalam relationships ke, in your career ke, in your job, in your daily life, you will face challenges. In fact, in public speaking, in communications, you will face challenges as well. Okay, so Joshua J. Marine said that challenges are what makes life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. So basically, challenges in life, it is inevitable. Benda yang tak boleh nak elak. Memang akan berlaku. Tak ada hidup kita sentiasa aman damai, rainbows all the time, sunshine all the time. No. There will be time tiba hujan, kan? There will be time yang mana life will give you lemon. Kan orang idiom English selalu cakap, when life give you lemon, makes lemonade, kan? So bila kita dapat overcome satu-satu challenges tu, you will feel that your life is meaningful. Meaningful in the sense that you know that you're strong, you know that you can overcome anything. Same thing goes in public speaking. If you're afraid of communicating in front of a public, always challenge yourself. To be honest, if you ask me personally, right, in class kan, you will see, if you become a lecturer, sooner or later kan, you will see that there are various type of students. Banyak jenis students. Ada yang jenis memang outspoken, ada yang jenis senyap, ada yang jenis memang akan buat kerja dia sendiri. And I personally, I would like to call upon yang senyap-senyap ni untuk bercakap. Because why? Orang yang senyap ni, kalau kita tak bagi dia peluang untuk bercakap, dia tidak akan dapat bercakap dan dia tidak akan cabar diri dia. In which in class I really like to ask questions kepada orang-orang yang senyap. Bukanlah orang-orang yang bercakap tu I abaikan, no. I tak abaikan, tapi I would give equal chance for everyone to speak. Because sometimes in life you tak dapat chance tu. And that's why when I got the chance, I will give chances to students yang mungkin segan nak bercakap. Segan nak bercakap, biasanya kalau I tanya kan, kenapa you segan nak bercakap? Don't cakap benda-benda yang common kan, I'm afraid my grammar trouble. You know, benda yang kita kena bear in mind that grammatical, if you were to speak in English, right? Grammatical errors are bound to happen, especially when you speak. Kalau kita menulis kita boleh tengok kan. Bila you tengah bercakap, sometimes we are unaware of our grammatical errors that we make, structural errors that we make. But itu antara communication breakdown lah. Tapi however, as long as you can get the message across daripada you kepada audience you, walaupun ada some ataupun minor grammatical error, that is still acceptable, that is completely fine. Itu benda yang kena ingat. Kalau you pergi interview pun kan, if you make some grammatical errors throughout your interview ke apa ke, it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. In life, kalau you tak buat mistakes, you will never learn. Okay? Right, so let's take a look at on the challenges of this. Okay, these are some of the common challenges waktu public speaking. In public speaking, these are some of the common challenges yang we might face. The first one, you are deadly afraid to speak. Takut gila nak cakap. Itu bahasa-bahasa budak sekarang kan, takut gila cakap. Kids, everyone, penonton, kematian itu tak dapat dielakkan ya. Kematian itu pasti. Tapi ketakutan itu boleh ditawan. So basically, death is inevitable, but you can conquer your fear. You know, fear is something that we can overcome, then we can conquer. Don't let the fear conquers you. Itu benda yang paling takhir patut berlaku. You know, Mati memang confirm lah, mati memang tak elak lah. Okay, tiba-tiba mati kan. Okay, tak apa. Tapi bila you kena bercakap dekat depan, kalau you takut tu benda something you boleh overcome tau. Saya kata kalau you rasa you nervous because like I said tadi kan, mungkin sebab you punya grammatical ke, you because of the way you look ke, apa ke, there are always ways untuk to overcome all this. You have to remember that if you are afraid, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Challenge. And that's why, macam saya cakap tadi, in class I would always give chances kepada orang yang tak nak bercakap ni. Because no one is challenging them to speak in front. I would like to say this. I have one student, I still remember in semester 1, she's a Sheila. Okay, dia perempuan tau. So dia ni sangat pemalu, very very shy in class. When I ask her things, she would just stand up and then she would laugh malu sipu malu kan. Tapi bila dia dah grad, hujung semester tu, bila dia dah pergi intern semua, I was so impressed that she can speak in front of the public. You know, basically apa saya cuba cakap kat sini, the fear ataupun benda yang you takut tu, it can be overcome. You boleh overcome as long as you keep on challenging yourself. Challenging and believing yourself. Bila challenge ni, when you make mistakes, it's okay. It's okay because life is a learning process, continuous learning process. Okay, that is number 1. Number 2, you forget what you were about to say. Tiba-tiba tengah berucap-ucap ni, lupa. You lupa apa benda nak cakap ni. Okay, so kalau you lupa ni, benda ni not common common. Kadang-kadang you terlupa point you, benda nak cakap tadi you senyap. You know, actually keeping quiet is a way of getting attention from everyone. Kalau you I pernah perasan kan, ada a few speakers, prominent speakers, when they speak in front of a public, when public is not paying attention to them, they would just keep quiet and wait for everyone to keep quiet. And actually it works. Okay, so kalau you lupa, you bawa tenang sekejap. Okay, jangan gelabah, bawa tenang, take a deep breath, regain your composure. You jangan nampak you gelabah. Okay, you mungkin boleh senyap, you boleh berjalan, show as if that you know that you need to keep quiet for a while. And then mungkinlah kalau you memang blank teruk kan, you can ask your audience contoh tiba-tiba you lupa kan, you tengah cakap pasal pemakanan ke apa kan, tiba you lupa your point. So you hold your microphone and then just ask, so what do you think, what do you eat this morning? You know, that is a way of how you can try to regain the points that you're missing out on. Okay, and then no one is paying attention to what you're saying. Benda ni memang berlaku. It is very common, especially in a large crowd. Kalau crowd dalam kelas tu pun, lecturers sometimes they are very hard to control kan. Can you imagine if you're speaking to thousands of ataupun hundreds of audiences? So basically, when no one is paying attention, it's okay. That is not your fault. Okay, interact, engage, and ask your audience to share their thoughts. That's why bila I cakap tadi yang Alan Hilbert punya yang dia share dengan I, to make sure that people are listening to you, you ask them questions. When you ask them questions, they have no choice but to answer. Especially in a large crowd kalau dia tak jawab dan dia tak boleh jawab, basically dia tidak mendengar. So the moment you start asking questions, all of a sudden everyone will just pay attention to you. Even in class, kalau you tahu lecturer yang jenis suka bertanya kan, lepas dengar je dia akan tanya. So basically everyone akan cuba bagi perhatian. Saya tak cakap akan bagi perhatian throughout 3 jam, 2 jam lecture tu taklah. Tapi akan cuba untuk bagi perhatian. Okay, and then number 4, you do not know who are your audiences. Ini you kena ingat, different audience, they have different level of intellectuals. Different audience, they have different level of understanding. So kalau you tak tahu audience you, contoh kan, that's why kalau mana-mana speaker ke datang apa kan, dia akan tanya siapa audience dia, supaya dia boleh adjust the tone, dia boleh adjust dia punya composure, dia boleh adjust dia punya projection of voice, tone kan. Contohlah tiba-tiba I tengah bercakap I tengah bercakap dengan baby boomers, warga-warga emas ke kan, I tengah bercakap warga emas. It is impossible lah for me nak bercakap too fast ke, I have to adjust my tone. Okay, and macam saya cakap tadi, kalau you pergi ke kawasan pedalaman kan, if you go to kawasan pedalaman, that's why you kena tahu audience you siapa. Because kalau you tak tahu audience you tak boleh lah menggunakan bahasa Inggeris. Contoh you pergi ke pedalaman sangat and then you speak in English to everyone else. Of course they're not going to pay attention. These are the main challenges. It is wise for you to find who are your audiences, so then you can adjust the tone and also the kind of words that you use. Because the usage of words ni kan, it is very important, and also ways to engage. Macam I had experiences dengan warga baby boomers lah. I was in Terengganu at that time. The way we engage with baby boomers, it is completely different and compared to the way we engage dengan Gen Y. Okay, Gen Y, Gen Z, sorry. Gen Z. Gen Z ni I communicate dengan orang waktu dekat Kelantan. Okay, Gen Y, Gen Z punya style of engaging is different. Kalau yang makcik-makcik ni kan, baby boomers makcik-makcik lah, makcik-makcik macam level-level mak kita kan. You tak boleh nak terlampau high intellectual, you tak boleh guna jargon. You kena guna bahasa yang biasa-biasa je. You have to adjust your tone, chill-chill like dengan diorang ni. You know, buat-buat sikit, they will enjoy those things. And then kalau dengan Gen Z ni, kalau if you're talking to your friends kan, sometimes, even though I know sometimes you are talking about serious matters. However, when you talk about serious matters kan, after you bagi serious matters, serious fact tu, mungkin adalah wise untuk you bagi explanation dalam bahasa ataupun bahasa mudah lah untuk orang faham. Because large information, sekarang ni kita ada macam information TMI, kita selalu dengar perkataan TMI kan, too much information. So it is public speakers punya job to break down this information to become a biteable piece of information. Biteable ni maksudnya information yang semua orang boleh digest. So public speaker, kalau lah you tengah bentang kat apa-apa dekat depan kan, kalau you bentang apa-apa kat depan ke, kalau you berucap dekat depan kan, janganlah hafal skrip. Itu adalah kesilapan pertama biasa orang akan buat. You do not memorize the script, you memorize the points, the facts. Okay? And let it flow lah. Okay, and then ini common challenges yang kelima adalah you speak of topic that you poorly know of. Okay, so basically kalau lah tiba-tiba you diberi satu topik yang bukanlah kepakaran utama you tahu benda tu tapi bukanlah kepakaran utama you. Okay, so apa yang you boleh buat, yang sepatutnya you buat, yang mesti you buat adalah research. Research ni tak seluruh lah you buat thesis ke apa ke, tapi you membaca, keep on reading, iqra, ya, baca kan. Okay, and then practice. Always do your research and practice. Practice ni dia bukanlah practice beria-ia. Practice at least you have some ideas of what to say when you see a point. Lagi satu, kalau lah you menggunakan PowerPoint, remember that PowerPoint, nama dia pun PowerPoint. So the point needs to be powerful. Dia bukan essay point. Ini kalau kita presentation ke apa, suka tampal essay situ, faham? Okay, so basically when you use PowerPoint, the point needs to be powerful and only points, not essay. Okay, and when you get a topic that you're poorly known of course research is very important. Supaya apa? First you akan nampak pandai dekat depan, kan? Number two, you akan nampak confident lah. Okay, because if you are lack of confidence, trust me, people can always tell whether you are confident or not. If you are not confident, it shows. Okay, ini some common challenges, tapi kita akan tengok pula common mistakes yang berlaku. Common mistake ni dia boleh berlaku mana-mana je. You know, they are not limited to just this. These I give you only 7 kat sini because we have like only 1 hour for today. So lack of eye contact ni benda yang I think dia common tau. Common, tapi kalau you give eye contact, dia akan leads to effective communications. People will pay attention to you. Eye contact ni bukanlah you pandang tendung 24 jam macam ni. No. Kalau you tendung 24 jam, nanti dia apa? Dari mata jatuh ke hati kan, susah kan? So, kalaulah you are giving eye contact, maksudnya occasional eye contact. Occasional eye contactnya once a while, you need to take a look at your audience. Contoh sekarang ni, tapi I ada problem sikit dengan guna Google Meet ke Zoom kan. Sometimes student kamera dekat sini, ada punya screen kat sini. So, dia pandang sini. I pula nampak pipi dia. Kan? Tapi yalah, benda tu kita tak boleh avoid lah because that one is EMC. Okay, so lack of eye contact, benda ni memang sebab mungkinlah segan ke takut ke apa kan. Tapi the tips is kalau you tengah berucap di depan, if you are speaking in front of a public, of a crowd that you are afraid of ke apa ke, you take a look at one wall ataupun one item at the back. Maksudnya you're, in a way, orang akan rasa you're looking at them, but actually you're not. Okay? Itu antara benda yang boleh buat. Another one is, I have a friend, yang cara dia overcome is dia rabun. So bila dia kena berucap, dia buka cermin mata dia. So dia tak nampak audience. Okay, but they still speak fluently tapi dia remember dia punya points. Okay, itu antara benda-benda yang boleh buat. Lack of eye contact ni common mistake yang benar-benar boleh berlaku. So when we look into someone's eye, basically we are telling them to understand us lah. And then too much filler words. Filler words ni apa? Filler words ni macam okay, itu adalah filler words. You know, personally, ini I punya personal opinion, bila orang ada too much filler words, I get distracted. I get distracted. When I get distracted, I am not interested in the points already. So bila contoh kalau ada meeting ke, kalau dalam apa-apa kan, bila ada orang menggunakan filler words terlampau banyak, I dah, oh my god, I cannot. Macam itulah, I cannot. So dekat situlah communication breakdown boleh berlaku. That's why I said too much filler words ni is a common mistake yang kita buat. Filler words ni biasanya berlaku bila kita cuba memikirkan point-point untuk sambung. Tapi sometimes I notice filler words ni adalah habit. It is habitual. Ada orang yang suka menjadikan habit. Itu adalah habit. Okay, itulah antara filler words yang boleh kita avoid lah. And then we have too dependent on script instead of points. Ini adalah kesilapan terbesar semua orang dalam public speaking. Jangan memorize the script. Unless you pelakon lah. Kalau you pelakon, okay lah. Hafal script, okay. Saya hafal script, okay. Okay. Tapi if you're not, if you're delivering a speech in front, it is wise to have cue cards. Kalau you memang jenis nervous kan, you have cue cards, okay lah. Cue cards tu bukanlah letak semua benda, semua essay you dalam tu, tak. Cue cards maksudnya, apa pun cards, you put points and then what are the things that you need to say. Bukanlah the whole script, you place it there. Okay? And then projection of voice, tone and also pace. When speaking in front of a crowd, like I said tadi, first you need to know your audience. Kalau audience you adalah orang-orang yang kurang warga emas ke apa ke, you kena jaga you punya tone and also you punya pace. Do not shout. Jangan menjerit. And also jaga pace you. Pace ni adalah you jangan cakap terlampau laju. Jangan cakap terlampau perlahan. Okay? Find a moderate punya pace and also tone yang suitable. When you wish to emphasize on something, maybe you can stress on the beat on that one. Ataupun you boleh repeat dua kali. Kan? Itu menunjukkan part tu adalah benda-benda yang penting. Kan? Kalau benda tu tak penting, then you don't have to say lah. Okay? And then number 5 is overconfident. Overconfident salah macam tu kan. Okay, tapi overconfident ni biasanya it may be mistaken as arrogance. Bila you terlampau overconfident, orang akan nampak you sebagai sombong. Bila orang nampak you sombong, orang tak nak pay attention. That's why overconfident ni dia adalah satu kesilapan. Bila you overconfident, you will sound very cocky. Cocky ni maksudnya you are very arrogant. Okay? Nampak you bunyi sombong sangat. Okay? And then usage of big words such as jargon and slang. Slang ni, jargon ni adalah bila you bekerja kan in a professional terms. For example, kalau in PR kan, we have things called boilerplate. Tiba-tiba I cakap macam boilerplate, semua orang fikir, pinggan mana mendidih ni? No. Actually, bila you tengah bagi public speaking, when you're speaking in front of a public, you must use common words, common terms, layman words. Layman ni maksud orang-orang biasa. Satu perkataan yang semua orang boleh faham. Okay? Jargons adalah professional terms and slangs adalah bergantung kepada community lah, because kalau community, contoh macam community KL ada slang dia sendiri, Sarawak ada slang dia sendiri. So you cannot bring KL punya slang go to Sarawak. And Sarawak bila you bawa pergi KL punya ni, you don't use your slang. Kenapa we don't use our slang? Because kita nak communication to become effective. Okay, use a common word yang semua orang boleh faham. Use layman terms. And then the last one, which is too self-centered. I know it is public speaking. I know we need to communicate with everyone, but when you become too self-centered, it will sound like you are talking about yourself. Self-centered maksudnya you're focusing too much on yourself. You have to remember public speaking. It has to be audience-centered as well. Okay? So keeping the balance between you and the audience, that is the key in effective communications. So ini antara common mistakes lah. Okay? So if you can think of any other errors ataupun kesalahan-kesalahan yang you pernah buat, you can comment or you can drop any questions ke apa ke in the chat box. Maybe Pak An can read out to me kejap lagi lah. Okay, alright. So these are some tips and tricks. Dia ada 20. I'm going to go very fast on this because we only have like till 11:30 ya Pak An. Okay. So first thing first, of course, know your audience. Know your audience, you kena kenal macam your audience siapa. Tadi I think I have touched on this. You need to know your audience, siapakah mereka. Adakah mereka Gen Y, Gen Z, or they are people yang urban, you know, the T20s. So when they are categorized in this type of people, what are the things that you need to engage with them? Mungkinlah you tak boleh menggunakan anything yang to apa kita panggil tu, yang tidak mereka tak selesa lah. Okay. And then number 2, which is rehearse. It may sound boring. It may sound like this is a dreadful ways of doing things. You have to keep on rehearsing, okay? Tapi trust me, practice makes perfect. Over time, when you keep on practicing, you will be able to speak in front of public without any problems. You give like any topic, Okay, and then number 3, practice with distraction. Distraction ni kenapa you kena practice with distraction? Ini tips yang I think I find it very useful juga. Kalau you can practice in a distraction, you have to understand that bila you have to deliver public speaking, when you have to deliver a speech, there will be distraction. There are going to be distractions. So if you can stay focused while distraction is going on around you, that would be very good. Okay, and then number 4, find a style that works for you. Styles ni, you have to understand that not everyone is not the same. Tak semua orang sama. The way of Farhan bercakap is completely different than the way of I cakap. Mungkin Syafiqah pun cakap lain, semua benda cara style semua cakap lain. Okay, so we have our own style and you have to be very comfortable with your style. Okay, some people they are able to crack jokes, boleh buat lawak anytime dia boleh buat lawak. Some people they are trying too hard to make jokes, still not funny. Okay, so find a style that suits you. Is it using PowerPoint is the best way forward? Is it using cue cards is the best way forward for you? And then number 5, know the environment. Know the environment meaning to say if you know that you kena bagi speech dekat dewan ni esok contoh kan. So you pergi tengok dewan tu. Ambil mood sekejap, naik atas tu ke apa ke. Okay. Sebab getting yourself familiarized with the environment is the way forward jugalah. And then test all equipments. You kena sentiasa try, test, cuba, try, test. Okay. Always test your equipments. Tiba-tiba macam jadi nasib baik everything runs smooth today kan. Tiba-tiba kalau ada technical errors, itu akan jadi distraction jugalah. And then practice in front of a mirror. Rehearse tadi, you can practice in front of a mirror to see how your facial expressions are, and then take every opportunity to speak. Ini maksudnya kalau lecturer kata, okay, siapa nak bagi pandangan? So just raise your hand. It's okay. Don't be shy. Okay. Practice body language. Body language pun you can practice whether you want to use your hand like this ke, you want to go back a bit ke, you want to slant a bit ke. Okay. But whatever it is when you're speaking, it is wise for you to just stand straight lah. Okay. And then slow down. Don't go too fast. Don't go too fast unless you are running out of time. Then you can speak fast lah. Okay. And then number 11, make eye contact. Eye contact dari mata jatuh ke hati, always. Hati-hati, jangan pandang mata eye. Okay, and know your material. Always know your whatever you're talking, you kena tahu. Janganlah orang lain buat slides, orang lain yang bagi ucapan. Itu susah sikit. Ini selalu student buat kan. Orang lain buat slide, orang lain yang present. Nampaklah sangkut-sangkut. Okay. And then 13, take pauses. Take pauses ni maksudnya you kena give some breaks in between points. Pauses ni dia bukanlah menunjukkan you tak confident, tapi you're giving some space for you to breathe and for the audience to breathe juga. Especially if you are at the transitions between point A to point B. Okay, so dah habis point A, you take a break sekejap. Bukan take a break lah, take a pause, like 5 seconds and then you continue. And then practice tone and projection. Some people they have a very deep voice. Deep voice okay lah kalau nak bercakap dekat mikrofon. Tapi deep voice ni kalau dia cakap dekat tanpa mikrofon dia tak dengar. So you need to practice on how to project your voice supaya semua orang boleh dengar. Okay, and then use humor and emotion to get people to listen to you, to engage to your audience. You have to use humor. Manusia kita suka dua benda ni lah, suka cerita lawak, suka cerita seram kan. Dua-dua ni melibatkan humor and emotions. So emotions ni macam mana kita nak kaitkan emotion is of course bila you boleh touch benda yang audience sedih ke happy ke. Rakyat Malaysia ni kan, rakyat Malaysia based on my observation, dua benda je yang boleh sentuh kita. Satu adalah pasal mak, satu lagi pasal anak. Okay, kalau ayah ni dia lain sikit. Ayah ni dia ada spot dia tapi dia lain sikit. Kalau iklan, kalau mak dia accident meninggal, kita sedih kan. Anak meninggal sedih. Okay, so always try to use some analogies yang try to kaitkan dengan dia orang. Okay, and then be mentally prepared. Of course, when you're dealing with anything, be mentally prepared. Because you kena ingat yang tak semua orang akan suka you. And dalam hidup pun, you pun tak suka semua orang kan. Macam tu lah. You mungkinlah orang yang orang tu tak suka. So it's okay not to be liked by everyone. You may be likable, tapi tak semua orang akan suka you. Okay, and exercise before you go. Bukan suruh marathon ke apa ya. Exercise maksudnya you stretch out a bit, do some stretching. Stretching lah, take a deep breath, semua tu. Kalau you pergi marathon, you sampai nak bagi ucapan, tercungap-cungap lah. Okay, project confidence, show confidence. Your face, the way you speak, your body language, those are the projections of confidence. And then do not go over the allotted time. A good public speaker never exceeds the time given. Kalau dia bagi 1 hour lah dia akan bercakap. Kalau dia bagi 45 minit dia cakap-cakap. Okay, so do not go over the allotted time. That's why I always ask, how long do I have? Okay? Alright, so number 20, ask for feedback. Ini benda yang kita selalu takut. You pernah tak lepas you presentation kan, you tanya dekat you punya lecturer ke, your friends ke, or kalau you present, if you do a business pitching and you ask your colleagues, how did I do? You janganlah tak. I notice ramai yang takut nak tanya ni sebab apa? Sebab they are afraid of criticism. You know, criticism, if you take it constructively, it's going to be good for you. Sebab sometimes some people, they have straight face yang akan cakap dengan you, they have a very blunt heart lah yang cakap, it was not that good lah. But if you take it personally, akan jadi problem lah. You know, feedback ni, it is very valuable. Tak semua orang akan bagi you feedback. Kalau orang bagi you feedback, don't feel down. Kalau orang tak bagi feedback, ask for feedback. Okay? Always ask for feedback. Sebab feedback ni, this is where you boleh learn your mistake. Contoh dia kata, orang bagi feedback, you speak too fast lah tadi. So then you know, okay, speaking too fast is my weakness. So I need to improve on this the next time. So kalau you pergi interview ke apa ke, always ask for feedbacks. Okay? You can ask for feedbacks. Misalkan dah habis session tu kan, just get some feedback. So how did I do during the interview just now? They will give you feedbacks lah during interview. Okay? Alright, so those are the tips and tricks. The time now is 11:29. So I am done. So do you guys have any question? If you guys have any question, or maybe moderator have any question, you guys can ask me now. Yeah? Any question?
On the chat.
What's the question, Van? Can you read it for me?
Chat.
Hello, sir. Okay. Is there any trick for people that having nervous breakdown? Because whenever I got the opportunity to speak publicly, I always shaking, I can't speak properly. I tend to think that people don't understand my point whenever I try to deliver the messages. Okay, Alia Farah Nadia. Okay, macam ni. Macam saya cakap tadi, Alia Farah Nadia. Alia ke Farah? Okay, Alia Farah Nadia. Sedap nama dia. Okay, nervousness is common. It's okay to feel nervous. Macam ni, you jangan takut untuk orang tak faham apa you cakap. Yang penting you can cakap. Yang pertama sekali, apa yang punya tips adalah pada you adalah you prepare a glass of water. A glass of water will always calm you down lah, a glass of water. Okay, a glass of water ni you minum sekejap. Sebelum you naik pentas ke before you berucap kan, you minum sekejap, you have a glass of water. Janganlah a glass, you prepare a glass tapi you drink a few sips lah. Berapa teguk tu okay lah to calm you down. Okay, and also bila you berucap, I think nervousness you ni mungkin datang daripada you takut orang judge you. You're afraid that people will judge you because they do not understand apa yang you cuba cakapkan. Okay, yang pertama sekali, apa yang you boleh buat, you boleh ada visual aid. Visual aid maksudnya you prepare some points dekat belakang ke macam slides ke apa kan, ataupun you boleh prepare anything, some points untuk bagi orang faham dan orang dengar dekat you. Whatever people saying, and they will try to take a look at the board at the back. And also jangan takut orang tak faham. Okay? Yang penting ialah you kena sound confident. Sometimes orang bukan tak faham sebab dia tak faham apa you cakap. People sometimes they are just distracted by the surroundings kan. Throughout the communication process ada noises kan. There are a lot of noises. So bila kita ada noises, so noises ni dia bound to happen at any point of time. Noises kalau you kata orang mungkin tak faham apa yang you cakap, itu antara noises yang mungkinlah datang dekat you lah. The noises is there from you. Tapi Alia Farah Nadia, Rosli ayah dia kan, okay. Apa yang penting ialah you have to be confident in your points. You kena confident. Macam mana nak confident? First you kena rehearse. You know, people will always judge. By hook or by crook. Macam saya cakap tadi, tak semua orang akan suka you. Tapi you kena ingat, akan ada orang suka you. As long as you can get the message across, that is okay. Shaking, nervousness, it's okay. Tapi Alia Farah Nadia, apa yang penting actually is you kena keep on challenging yourself. I still remember, if you remember when I talk about my student tadi, ex-student yang dia dah graduate dah pun. During first semester, she was like you. Sangat nervous kan. Cuma I minta dia share berita yang dia baca hari ni je. I asked her to share the news that she read today. Dia punya nervous tu, dia bangun. Tapi dia macam shaking, tergelak-gelak, itu cara dia control kat macam nak kawal nervous dia. Tapi dia tergelak-gelak. I ask her to calm down, chill, take a deep breath, buat tenang. Okay. So, cakap. Dia akan cuba cakap lah. Tapi macam saya cakap tadi, apa yang boleh buat, you kena keep on challenging yourself. You kena sentiasa beri you peluang untuk bercakap. Okay, you mungkinlah jangan terus depan crowd 100 orang. Maybe you can try in a small crowd first. If you have a group meeting ke apa kan, you try to speak in front of your group first. Okay, for people to understand the message is a different thing. Okay, but to make sure people understand you, you can have a visual aid lah. Tak mesti visual aid lah, you can have some aid. You boleh distribute notes kepada mereka, or you can have like PowerPoints ke, so then apa yang you cakap ni can make sense to whatever that they have at their hands. So itu I punya suggestion lah, that you have visual aids. You don't get nervous, is okay. It's okay. And lagi satu, I rasa Alia Farnadia, you are afraid of making mistakes. And again, mistakes in life is inevitable. Kesilapan dalam hidup ni tak boleh dielakkan. Dan kesilapan tu bound to happen, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. But you have to learn from those mistakes. Okay? Alright. Ada lagi ke Pak An?
Ada dekat Q&A session pun ada juga. Dekat chat ada juga.
Sekejap ya. Okey, nak tanya soalan bagaimana kalau crowd tak memberi respon, adakah penyampaian komunikasi tidak berkesan? Syazwani Ali. Okey. Kalau crowd tidak memberi respon, dia ada dua punca. Yang pertama adalah punca mereka tak faham, ataupun punca kedua adalah mereka tak fokus. Dua tu. Okey. Apa yang you boleh buat? Apa yang boleh buat? Macam saya cakap tadi, when the crowd is not responding to you, you can ask them questions. Kalau di tengah berucap ni kan, macam tadi, I was giving my talk. I ask question. Contoh sebab I nampak Pak An je lah, dia buka kamera lain tak nampak pun. Okay, so that's why I keep on asking Pak An, because to show that people paying attention, I always ask question. Sebab bila you tanya, diorang akan takut. Kalau takut, basically they will start to pay attention to you lah. So kalau untuk audience yang tidak bercakap kan, when they are not talking, so what you can do is you can ask them questions, and of course you can engage. So seperti tengah bercakap kan, so what do you think? Okay, what do you think? What do you think is a very simple question. Example, simple question macam mana, so what do you think when someone, contoh I tengah cakap pasal common mistake tadi kan. So tiba-tiba I tanya, so Syafiqah, what are the mistakes that you commonly make in a public speaking? So itu antara macam mana you nak apa nama dia? Nak make sure that people are paying attention and also they respond to you. Okay, Syazwani, so basically kalau audience tak bagi respon, maksudnya there is not enough engagement. So engagement and interaction ini adalah kuasa penyampai. Okay, penyampai yang boleh interact, penyampai yang kena bertanya soalan, penyampai yang kena engage, berhubung dengan mereka. Okay, sebab communication dia akan jadi ineffective kalau diorang tak faham apa yang cakap, dan juga kalau diorang message yang cuba sampaikan tu tidak tepat. Okay, so my tips is you ask them questions, engage with them. Engage tak semestinya you kena bertanya soalan je. Engage boleh juga you berjalan-jalan. You can walk around. You can walk around and make sure that they pay attention. Okay, alright. Okay, then we have question from Freddie. Kalau masa interview, presentation via Zoom or Google Meet, do we have to look at the camera, webcam all the time? Or boleh tengok dekat screen for a while? Okay, macam ni Freddie. Dia bergantung kepada sama ada you are doing a job interview ke apa. If it is a job interview, it is wise for you to take a look at the camera. To take a look at the screen, once a while, it's fine. It's okay. Occasional okay. Sebab bila you, that's why tadi I cakap eye contact kan, eye contact tu bukan all the time. Dia sama juga pandang kamera. Pandang kamera ni is actually I'm giving eye contact. Like now, I'm giving you eye contact. But right now, I'm not giving you much eye contact. Okay? So basically, eye contact punya ataupun pandang kamera ni, konsep dia sama dengan eye contact. Sebab sekarang ni kita EMC kan, elektronik. So apa yang boleh buat is you try to give occasional. Jangan pandang all the time. Pandang all the time pula nanti susah. Macam saya cakap tadi, pandang mata lama-lama ni boleh jatuh hati ni, susah ni. Okay? So try to give yourself some times untuk take a look at the screen, take a look at the camera, take a look at the screen, take a look at the camera. Sama juga kalau you bagi presentation depan orang ramai kan. Sometimes you tengok audience, sometimes you tengok keliling, it's okay, tak ada masalah. Okay, so kalau job interview pun sama, job interview ke ada interview ke or you're doing any presentation, give occasional eye contact to the camera. And you can take a look at the screen once a while. Of course lah, kadang nak tengok kan, rambut aku betul ke tak, macam tu kan. So it's okay. Alright, so Freddie, you can give occasional, you don't have to take a look at the camera all the time. Okay? Okay, this is a good question. Can we have example to differentiate confident and overconfident? Not really sure to the extent of confidence, especially during interview. Okay, during an interview, this is because I'm teaching subject personal development, because this one is very specialized in terms of career development, a special subject. So basically, when we talk about overconfident and also confident, overconfident is when you sound cocky, when it is too self-centered. When it is always about you. Itu adalah overconfident and also too self-centered. Self-centered dengan overconfident ni dia adalah intertwine, intertwine benda yang saling berkait. Overconfident ni contoh kan, benda tu senang je. Contoh ada interviewer tanya you, do you know how to use Adobe Photoshop and probably Adobe Premiere Pro? Kalau a confident person might say, yes, I do know how to handle them. I can edit some videos using this and this and this. Okay, tapi kalau orang yang overconfident, that is not really a problem to me because I have been doing I've been dealing with Adobe Photoshop for 10 years now. I think it's not really much a problem. It does not pose severe problem to me. It's quite easy for me. Itu overconfident. Because sometimes you can understand that overconfident ni dia akan bunyi belagak tau. Bila bunyi belagak, sometimes in a job interview, employers do not want people who have attitude. Sometimes you bukan tak dapat kerja sebab you tak bagus. You tak dapat kerja sebab you sound too cocky. Too cocky ni maksudnya, tahu tak, orang yang sombong ni, orang yang belagak ni susah nak diajar. Sebab they always feel that they are right. So when you attend an interview, try not to, macam mana nak elakkan you sound less overconfident. You jangan centeredkan jawapan you kepada diri you sangat. You can centerkan diri pada jawapan you, tapi you boleh kaitkan dengan pengalaman-pengalaman you. Let your experiences speak on behalf of you. Okay, contoh soalan pasal Adobe Photoshop tadi kan. Contoh kalau cara orang yang confident mungkin boleh jawab, yes, I have dealt with Adobe Photoshop before this. Like when I was studying in UiTM last time, I was the producer, I was the video editor for this and this. Janganlah bunyi, that is so easy, that is so simple, not much a problem for me. Okay, itu antara contoh macam mana confident and overconfident. During an interview, actually confident dengan overconfident ni dia ada satu thin line, a very fine line yang bergantung kepada interviewer juga, Freddie, sebenarnya. Kalau interviewer you ni jenis cepat, touchy sikit kan, dia akan nampak you overconfident cepat. Kalau tak, dia akan rasa macam, oh, this is okay. Yeah. Reason being why overconfident is not good in a job interview is because people will see you as arrogant, orang yang belagak, orang yang sombong. So, sombong ni susah nak diajar, susah nak belajar. Okay? Tapi kalau you boleh handle, it's okay. Okay, Freddie, tapi I think you need to put a fine line kat situ, not to sound too cocky, because cocky is actually overconfident lah. Okay, if you can try to adjust your tone ni pun boleh menunjukkan whether you are overconfident ke tidak. It is not always about you during a job interview, it is always about your experiences and what you are willing to learn. Waktu interview, you have to be humble, but at the same time, you have to sell yourself. Dua benda ni penting. You kena berendah diri. Yes, I tahu pasal Adobe Photoshop, tapi sekiranya company memerlukan advanced Adobe Photoshop, I am willing to learn to ensure that all the deadlines or all the projects given to me can be done within the time frame. Contoh macam tu. Okay. Alright. Okay, kita ada soalan Cynthia. Good. Okay, kalau kita handle satu program untuk community, macam mana nak tarik perhatian diorang supaya diorang terus memberi tumpuan dengan pengucapan penyampaian kita? Okay, ini kalau saya kan, if I were you, I would try to get to know the community first. Get to know the community, apa yang diorang suka, apa yang diorang tak suka. Contohlah dalam community kampung kan, masyarakat kampung. Macam when I was in Terengganu last time kan, masyarakat Terengganu, I was in Dungun to be exact. So when I was in Dungan, I will always try to find something that is close to them. Close to them ni maksudnya benda-benda yang diorang boleh relate. Benda-benda yang diorang boleh relate. You know, so when we speak of Terengganu, we always talk about keropok leko, kuih-kuih lokal diorang kan. So to make sure that they are listening to you, sambil-sambil you bagi ucapan ni, you buat selingan. You buat seling-selingan kan, macam you tengah cakap pasal benda serius ni, pasal business ni. Tiba-tiba teringat lah, dekat mana kuih akok sedap You know, you engage, you interact dengan diorang, benda yang local specialties. Macam tiba-tiba you nak tanya, laksa Sarawak kat mana sedap I'm going to Kuching next week. Tiba-tiba tanya tu kan. So basically, they will give more attention to you. And I noticed that people, when you can speak their language ataupun their dialect, they are more attracted to speak with you ataupun to listen to you. I have a friend during kat Terengganu tu, he can speak Terengganu, Terengganu punya slang lah kot, accent, slang. So the moment they speak Terengganu, dia taklah boleh cakap, dia taklah 100%. Tapi he used that as a way to engage ataupun to make sure that people keep on paying attention to him. You know, kalau you tak tahu, contoh I pergi Sarawak, tak tahu kan, maybe I can use a word or two lah. A word or two. Kamek, itulah tahu. Itu je, I tahu. But yeah, you know, stuff like that. You can always use stuff yang local akan rasa attracted. So first, I punya suggestion is try get to know who are the community, siapa community mereka, who are they, and try to find one thing ataupun few things I would say, a few things yang diorang suka. Kalau community tu memang suka Siti Nurhaliza kan, you cakap pasal Siti Nurhaliza sikit-sikit, they will get attracted to listen to you. Okay, always find something common in the community, something common. That's why kalau kita tengok politicians, they are very good public speakers lah. They are very because they know how to engage dengan local punya community. Okay, that's why politician biasa kalau diorang ambil, diorang akan pergi kepada local punya constituent lah. Okay. Okay, bagaimana tips supaya tak takut semasa berucap di hadapan halayak ramai? Macam nak tak takut? First baca doa. Okay, tapi first thing first, kalau nak takut ni macam cakap tadi, takut tu normal. It's normal untuk rasa takut. Tapi kan untuk rasa tak takut ni kena practice lah. Always practice. Practice soalan, tanya soalan, practice lah. You kena practice depan cermin. Untuk tak takut ni, dia bukan takut sebenarnya, dia nervous kan. Dia bukan takut sangat. Tu tak adalah macam takut tengok hantu ke tak. Dia takut sebab you have to speak in front of a public. So dia nervous lah, more of nervous. So nervous ni something, ataupun fear ni something that we can conquer. You don't let fear conquers you lah. So basically untuk kurangkan rasa takut tu kan, first apa yang I biasa akan buat, contohlah kalau I kena pergi berucap lagi sekali dekat depan crowd yang sangat ramai, I will just go to the hall first. I can tengok hall tu, cuba berdiri atas hall tu. Okay, berdiri atas hall tu, try to find a point dekat mana yang you nak tengok. You know, you akan nervous bila you tengok muka orang face to face. Bila you nampak reaction orang, misalnya kata kan, you tengah bercakap, tiba you nampak muka reaction orang buat macam roll eyes ke atas kan. So you akan rasa down, you akan rasa takut. Oh my god, aku cakap benda salah tadi. Try not to take a look at their faces much. A glances of their faces tak apalah. Sekali imbas, dua kali imbas, it's okay. Tapi janganlah tenung muka dia. Jangan. Okay? Sebab you akan rasa down if they give unfavorable punya expressions. So untuk rasa takut macam I cakap tadi, we will have a glass of water, baca doa, of course baca doa in any kepercayaan that you have. Okay, and always practice. Jangan tengok orang, you boleh tengok dinding belakang. Ini tips yang, ataupun kalau you tak tengok dinding belakang, you tengok dahi orang. Dahi dia luas, senang tengok. Okay, right. Apa kita perlu buat kalau peserta program mula rasa bosan dengan apa yang kita sampaikan? Okay, this is a very good question because I just had an experience about this. So bila audience bosan kan, if you are doing like a workshop ke apa ke kan, bila ada workshop ke, bila you buat program kan, always have energizer. Energizer ni maksudnya in between sessions you buat small short energizer. You buatlah dancing ke, stretching ke, you know, make them move around. Okay? And make sure something yang diorang boleh buat lah. Janganlah makcik-makcik umur 70-60 tahun you bagi-bagi lagu dangdut. so dia gelek memang tak boleh lah. Okay. So lagi satu I suka benda yang kalau lah you punya audience adalah Gen Z kan, Gen Z. Try sekata you nak buat energizer. Energizer ni kita pakai lagu tau. So energizer ni kalau ada energizer, you bolehlah pakai lagu-lagu yang current trend. Okay. And bila program kan, kalau you buat workshop ke program, benda akan jadi bosan kalau you kena duduk dan dengar all the time. LDK is one way of how to get people untuk tak rasa bosan. Second one, you boleh buat energizer. Third one is you can let them speak instead. Ask them questions, let them speak. So can you share with us your experiences? So bila tak dia share, you pass the mic to them. You know, diorang akan rasa bosan. Lagi satu, kalaulah it is always about you talking all the time, they will feel bored. Diorang akan rasa bosan sebab dia ni cakap non-stop tadi kan. Once a while you can insert some videos. Trust me, ini from my personal experiences. Kalau I bercakap 24 jam berbanding I letak video sikit students like to watch the videos. You know, when you show videos to them, sebab we have to understand manusia ni kita ada banyak different style, tapi visual always works. When you show them videos and then you ask their opinions about the video, you can always ask them to give their opinions about the video ke apa ke. So dekat dalam program, misalnya kata program tu 2 hari ke 3 hari ke 1 hari punya program pun, cubalah ada selingan-selingan selain selingan makan lah. Kita punya masyarakat ni pemurah, suka makan breakfast, minum pagi, makan tengah hari, minum petang, dinner, minum malam, sehari 6 kali. Kagum kan? Okay, so itu antara benda-benda yang you boleh buat. Oh, soalan tadi daripada Azrina saya yang the first one tadi. Okay, so Azlina, that was apa benda yang cakap tadi lah, macam mana yang boleh buat. Okay, and macam mana juga yang berkenaan peserta tu, those are the things yang you boleh selingkan lah. Sebab kalau nak senang kan, you kena letakkan diri you dekat tempat peserta. Kalau lah I kena dengar talk 4 jam straight, apa perasaan? Sedangkan dalam kelas 4 jam straight pun dia dah pening kan. Petah lagi apabila berada dalam program yang you tak boleh keluar. So always try to get the audience, engaging audience. Engagement is the key lah, the key to make sure that they are not bored. Okay, ask their personal experiences, ask their story, tanya cerita diorang, let them tell you their experiences. So mungkin bertanya, so makcik apa pandangan makcik berkenaan, makcik ada pengalaman ke pasal benda ni? Tanya. Bukan saja you create the bridge, the rapport between you and also the audience, but at the same time you are creating engagement with the audience. The rest of the audience would pay attention apabila orang bercerita. Lagi satu I notice, orang suka pengalaman tau. Real pengalaman. So you can use pengalaman, your experiences as a key of how you can engage with the audience to make sure that they're not bored. Sekali-sekala janganlah macam tadi everything is theoretical kan. Once a while kita includekan sikit cerita-cerita selingan. When we have these side stories lah kita panggil, cerita selingan ni, they will be interested. Diorang akan, maybe not all lah, but some of them will pay extra attention to you lah because nak dengar cerita kan. Kita dulu kalau cikgu bagi mengajar pun kita suka dengar cerita dia kan, cerita kancil dengan buaya lah apa salah. So macam tu lah, you cerita lah sikit. It is a way of how keeping them not to feel bored much lah. Okay, alright. Okay, I guess there is no more question, Evan?
Yeah.
Okay, so since there's no more questions, so you guys can connect with me. We have that is my email address. Just in case you want to ask me any questions or anything, you can always email me or you can just DM me on my Instagram. That is my LinkedIn. That is my professional LinkedIn. If you guys need to connect with me, of course, LinkedIn, guys. LinkedIn. I want to talk about. Sorry, Pak sikit lagi. LinkedIn ni it is a platform yang you guys boleh guna untuk apply kerja, and it is a professional platform. Dia bukan macam platform-platform lain yang mana you most of the time adalah masa-masa kita akan flirt sikit kan. No. Kalau LinkedIn ni is a professional punya platform. If possible, if you're seeking for a job, please have a LinkedIn because LinkedIn you can apply job directly. When I was working in the UK last time, managed to secure some interviews using LinkedIn. And in fact in Malaysia pun ada, up until today ada few companies yang hantar I email. Okay? Melalui LinkedIn. So LinkedIn you boleh directly. So please graduates, please have a LinkedIn. Itu cara termudah sekarang. Okay. Alright. I think that's all from me. I'll hand it over back to Pak An.
Okay, thank you, Sir Azril Izuan, for very valuable sharing and information tips. Okay, terima kasih di atas ceramah yang berkaitan dengan apa, komunikasi berkesan dalam pengucapan awam, and thank you kepada peserta yang bertanya soalan and joining the session. And it's very good, sangat apa, memberi banyak input lah. Dia bukan sedikit, memang banyak. Kalau boleh, the future kita orang boleh jemput lagi lah kan.
InsyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. So, communication is the key lah, macam beritahu tadi kan, listening, communication, and the tips on the communication lah. And then, thank you very much once again kepada Sir Azril Izuan di atas perkongsian komunikasi berkesan dalam pengucapan awam. And then saya rasa itu sahaja untuk sesi kita pada hari ini. Diharap kita akan berjumpa lagi di masa akan datang lah kalau diberikan rezeki lagi.
InsyaAllah.
Okey, di samping itu saya nak mengingatkan kepada peserta jangan lupa untuk mengisi Google Form, feedback form yang kami ada di ruangan komen. Jangan lupa untuk isi form tersebut. And then terima kasih sekali lagi saya ucapkan kepada semua peserta, kepada yang menonton di FB Live, kepada yang join Zoom webinar, and also YouTube Live. Okay, thank you everyone for joining program Bicara Pandai, komunikasi berkesan dalam pengucapan awam oleh Encik Muhammad Azril Izuan Ramlan, Pensyarah Fakulti Komunikasi dan Pengajian Media, UiTM Cawangan Negeri 9, Kampus Rembau. Baiklah, saya rasa itu sahaja. Okey, sekian. Wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.